music stuff. Hey, there we go. Hello. how did you screw up so badly, Julian? Traff, I unbanned you. Let me just... Are you using your Traff Gaming account? Yeah, I unbanned the Traff Gaming account. You might need to, like, refresh or something. Anyway, let's get the game going here. Hey CD, Martin, and Mike. Yes, I got the face cam back on even though I am doing a sweat. I am a sweaty boy. Because it is indeed very warm and I've been doing things and I've just finished a cup of tea, which maybe I shouldn't have had. But it was delicious. So we are gonna be... no, it's... Oh good lord, I'm hitting all the wrong buttons. Where's the tractor? Oh, there it is. We are gonna start off today by finishing up the... fertilizing of field 10, and then we're gonna go do a mow. We're gonna get ready for silage. Hello, Blash. It's the THICC Irish boy. He is doing a sweat today. It has been for the last week. But why do I have like no? Something's gone really wrong with my wheel because I've got less centering spring than I'm even used to. Didn't work even after I have no idea, Traff. There is a centering spring, or center spring active, but it's just being weird. Is it much to drink 8 beers in the evening? Yes. Your alarm clock to start making dinner. So things I've done today. I've got up, I had a breakfast, I screwed my webcam up because I thought moving the microphone had done that, so I screwed it up there, good. You can see some clothes that are in the background. They're actually clean clothes. I've just brought them up and laid them on. Well, I say laid. I threw them onto the bed. I'll sort them after the stream. And I got rid of the rubbish from when I tidied my room the other night after it got getting bored. What mower am I going to be using? I'm going to be using the... Is it a Coon mower? It's a sickle bar. A little teeny sickle bar mower. That I really like it. I really... like. I know some people have like vendettas against sickle bar mowers or really small mowers. I love using small equipment. I absolutely love it because your compensation. Go shout at YouTube. That shouldn't be happening. I'm one of the greatest YouTubers ever. It's your one tip to being a good YouTuber. Do things and embrace the memery. I need to go fix this. So last night, I said in the Discord earlier, I'm going to just talk about it very briefly. Last night I very, very harshly attacked somebody on YouTube. Verbally, I'm not saying physically. I left a very strongly worded comment on a video. Because they are hosting, I'm not going to name names, but they're hosting a mod site that just steals mods. And Glengar linked it to me. Glengar found it and linked it to me, and it was an edit of Matt's, the JCB from Matt's DLC. And I said, well, that's kind of scumbaggy. Because number one, that's a paid DLC. Number two, that's another modder's DLC. You're no YouTube drama, Mike. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a leg to stand on. Like, number one, he's endorsing piracy, in the form of Physics. You know, number one, he's endorsing piracy because that is just a pirated copy of the DLC. And that's not on to begin with. And number two, he thought it was okay to host his own mod site. And it is his own mod site, which is why I got particularly strongly worded with him. He thought it was fine and said that, well, if the modders don't like it, they can contact him, get the links changed. And I said, that's not the point. The point is that you even hosting the site is showing such a massive level of disrespect for modders in the first place that, you know, I genuinely wish Giants would take down some of these sites, especially the ones that are hosting pirated copies of the DLC. But come on, I've almost got this free. There we go. Realism! I'm quite happy. Good. Did we all watch the EA conference last night? I got so annoyed that I made the E3 room of the Discord 18+. Because they murdered Command & Conquer, which was my favourite series of games. Matt's not too bothered because there's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, he knows there's not much he can do. There's not much anybody can do. Giants are the ones that should be taking action, especially with the ones that are effectively pirating the DLC. And they just don't. And Giants should do better on that front. They need to do better. Let's see the match. No, I don't do sports ball. Half of the EA conference I was shouting, "Get away! You go away, sports ball! I don't like you." Royale and Battlefield 4. If they don't call it Battlefield Royale, they have missed the greatest opportunity ever known in gaming, and I will hate them forever. I mean, I already hate EA forever for murdering Command & Conquer, and oh my god, the amount of people genuinely angry with that is hilarious. I'm one of them, and I'm able to laugh at myself because it's a game. I shouldn't be angry, but it's one of my favourite series. It's one of the greatest strategy series of all time, and EA decided, let's make a mobile game with microtransactions. Murdered. I mean, what do they have against gamers? What do they have against people who play video games? Started raining again. It's still not rained. It like rained a bit the other day, but it's still not really rained here in like 2 or 3 weeks. And that's my EA rant, by the way. And I will go off on it every so often. It's just I hate EA. How badly did they destroy it? It's a mobile game with microtransactions sideways. They turned Command & Conquer, one of the greatest strategy game series ever known on the PC, into a mobile game with microtransactions. I got very angry. Many people got very angry. Now, if they had a kind of a simplified version going to console and PC with Command & Conquer, I think people would be okay with it. But a mobile game. See you, Blash. Test tomorrow. Good luck with your test. Believe in the magic cat. I still enjoy that little meme that I threw into the Discord. I found that somewhere and I thought, oh, that's perfect for people who are doing exams at the moment. So I thought I'd throw that into the announcements room in the Discord for anybody who's doing an exam of any kind. Seeing as it is full-on exam season. You may have drank... You've had 7 cups of... I've had a cup of tea and a cup of coffee. A cappuccino and a cup of tea. Granted, it was quite a large cup of tea. It was in my big fancy girly mug. You see the shadow box that gives you an iCloud. What? By the way, when I say big fancy girly mug, this is legitimately my big fancy girly mug. I love it. It's big. It holds a lot of tea, but it is. Why is the? Oh, because it's summer and it's actually bright outside. So the light's a bit weird today. Good. Only had 3 cups today. I mean, that's not much coffee. Pepsi. I did a smart thing today, though. So you guys will know that I have a 5-litre drum of water usually hanging around during streams. That was always like being bought and replaced. Those are all bought individually. What I did today was the last drum I used was empty. So I decided, okay, let's go downstairs and just refill it with tap water because it's the same stuff. I know exactly where the tap water here comes from. I've been there. Only 3 cups? You saw how Finnish people are crazy. Yes. How do you sleep having that much coffee? Like, legitimate question. How can you have like a dozen cups of coffee in a day and sleep? Cloud computer is GTX 1080 and it's $26.50 a month. Or a mouth. I wouldn't do a subscription model PC ever. I like having my machine that I can use and abuse to whatever extent that I want. Hello, Massey. I like having my own PC because, you know, if it needs work, I can work on it. If it needs cleaning, I can clean it. If it needs repairs, I can repair it. It's mine. I can care for it in whatever way I see fit. And I can push it as hard as I absolutely need to and overclock it and do whatever needs to be done to the PC to get it to work the way that I want it to. With a subscription model PC or like even a pre-bought, you can't really do that as much. Real life when you... Well, yeah, I know that, Blurred, but this is Farm Sim. Just doing this. How come my 135 has an exhaust stack? I don't know, but it does. So that's, believe it or not, all the seeding and fertilizing and ploughing and cultivating done for early spring. And not only is that all the work done for early spring, that's all the work done for early and mid-spring. So now we get the fun times, where I hop out of the tractor and I just fast forward time, I think 1,000 times. Yeah, this is going to be pretty much the most I can do. This yard looks amazing with the lights on. Animals died too. Okay, so the sheep are dying again. We're into mid-spring. We're actually going to go straight into late spring here. So the grass is growing. You can see it there. It is growing. In fact, mid-spring means if I grab... What's the fastest tractor I've got? It's... they all do similar speeds, but... I can do something that'll prevent the sheep from dying. Also, because the sheep have died, because I couldn't feed them. Past tense, we can now feed the sheep. Because the sheep died due to not being able to be fed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on sheep money again. I'm going to get the remaining, or however many sheep I need to get back up to 10. And we're going to deal with it like that. The crops are coming in very nicely. The corn's growing in already. Hopefully there's not any dead crop. This is something that I should probably check. No dead crop. Fantastic. We are bang on course right now. Oh, the bank 7k. I started off with the 15k that you start off with on hard. I've got nothing to sell, Special Snowflake. I'll have nothing to sell until, barring the milk from the cows, which is going to give us a bit of a trickle feed of money, which is nice. I'll have nothing to sell until the autumn. Well, actually, the winter. You're massive lover. Ah, very nice. I'll have nothing to sell on this map until the winter, and even then, it'll all go to paying off the debt, which you can see over there, somewhere, like over there, and paying off the 300,000 euro loan that I've got out. Nothing to do in mid-spring. In theory, no, but in practice, yes. I could in like I could do some spraying if I wanted to. I'm gonna hold off on that until late spring, early summer. And what I'm gonna do in the meantime is I'm driving down to the sheep because there's grass that's grown now. I can deal with that. I can get I can get the Profi hopper going into a field somewhere and give the sheep some food so they won't keep dying. That's the plan right now. That's the aim. And then we'll just kind of fast forward on. We do need to feed the cows again. And we do need to top up the pigs. So there are going to be a few different jobs on the go. That's not the way up to the sheep farm. Sheep farm is the next turn off, I believe. Yeah. We will have to get the load all out and get going around the animals again. Just to top them up. Cows are going to get one bag, pigs are going to get one bag. We'll be good. Your internet, no. And after that, then we can start going into late spring, and we'll probably leave the load all while we're fast forwarding in one of the auxiliary yards, the cow yard or the pig yard, because we will need to feed the cows and pigs as we go, one bag a day each. Hello, you. And after that, and like, I know it's annoying that I have to keep stopping. You know, I'm gonna have to keep stopping the fast forwarding process to get around the animals and to deal with them, but it's something that needs to be done. Right, first things first. Sheep. Well, animals in general. How many do I need and where? It's two sheep. Okay, so let's just... Now this is a workaround because there's no way that I could have fed the animals until now. If you want to do this challenge, you are completely fine getting like 10 bales of hay for the sheep. That's just my way around it, is the sheep will just deal with it in the springtime. And whatever sheep die, I just buy new ones to replace them. Now we get on to the boring stuff, which is, oh my god, this is going to take forever to fill the Profi hopper. By the way, I know there's a wet crop warning. That does not bother me. That does not matter because we're going to be making silage. Have I started paying off the loan? No. I hear about your new name, Yuso. No, I have not. Yeah, the exclamation mark insanity command in the chat brings you to the Google doc where grass 17%. So this is technically cheap. This is, I think this is okay because the sheep should, in reality, be eating the grass out of this meadow, which they don't do ever because it's farm sim logic for some reason. So I'm perfectly fine mowing this meadow up with the Profi Hopper, because this is where the sheep are, and they should eat the grass that's in the meadow instead of having to go to the trough. It is now Usopp. Okay. So this is that's a mini rant for you. That the animals never actually eating out of the meadows. That's dumb. It makes no sense. When the animals are out in the meadow, they should, you know, consume the grass that's in the meadow if they're an animal that requires grass, which is usually why they go into the meadow in the first place. What's my favorite yard on the West Coast? It's actually the main yard that I'm working out of is my favorite. That's why I keep using it. Yes, I need to install that on the map. I'll probably have a word with Pedro about how to install it later on today, or maybe tomorrow. Today I actually want to record a video for tomorrow. How much sheep? 1000% health. They're good for everything now. Okay, so this can go back undercover. Does anyone know when E3 is? E3 starts officially on Tuesday. However, let me get this right. Is it Microsoft, Bethesda, and the Devolver Digital conferences are on tonight? And maybe Ubisoft. No, Ubisoft are tomorrow. It's Ubisoft, the PC Gamer Show, which, if you want to have a nap during E3 coverage, then yeah, watch the PC Gamer Show, because that is a bore fest. That is the worst show at E3, in terms of press conferences. It actually started last night. You saw EA were up last night, and they did nothing but kill Command & Conquer. Ubisoft or Giants? Nope. Ubisoft is Ubisoft. Giants are under a Focus Home Interactive. The announcement from Giants we are expecting around Tuesday. So keep an eye out on Tuesday. On Giants' YouTube channel would be a very good bet to look at. So, I am Minecraft now. But keep an eye on Giants' YouTube channel on Tuesday. Today's Microsoft and Bethesda, and Devolver Digital are doing their joke press conference again, which I'm in half a mind to watch, but it's on super late, so I'm not sure. Because I watched their 2017 press conference last night, and that was very different. You wanna know what big brand is coming? I've seen a couple press releases, Bucko, for E3 from Focus on themselves, and there hasn't been a brand mentioned. Like the press release I saw, which was posted in Giants Discord, I think yesterday or the day before, it said a big surprise announcement. Didn't specifically say a new brand. So Giants seem to kind of backing off on that a small bit, that it might not be a new brand. But I myself think it's going to be one of three things. If it is a brand. Number one, and this is the most likely in my opinion, is Class. Number two, and this is a lot more likely than I would have thought 2-3 months ago, is John Deere, which is still surprising to me that I'm actually posing that as a realistic chance of coming into Farm Sim. And number 3, and this is left field, I think it's a small percentage chance, but would open up the doors for a lot of new things to come in with it, would be Kubota. Because with Kubota, it's kind of... it allows for orchard farming, and since when is John Deere getting in Farm Sim? We don't have any confirmation on that, Julian. It's all speculation right now. We're expecting to get more... I forgot to fertilize part of the field. Speculated. Every time there's a new Farm Sim game, the John Deere speculation happens, but this time it's louder than ever, and I think more realistic than ever. IC should be standard. Traff, how would you implement that on console? How do you implement IC on console? Because that's the really big thing. Is, while it's nice on PC to have IC and mods, I can't... How did I miss this huge chunk of field? Dave, you idiot. Hey, Nat. Giants now have competition. I wouldn't describe cattle and crops as competition just yet, but Giants see cattle and crops as competition, which is big. How did I... Seriously, how did I miss this much of the field? Just have a PC then? That's not the way Giants work. The PC and console versions will be identical in terms of features. Yes, PC will have scripts from mods, but in terms of base game features, the versions will be identical. Hello, Patrick. I'm more interested in new crops, because that's what's gonna kind of be useful in the long term. Short term, like in the release phase of the game, it's gonna be the new equipment that is gonna be like a very big thing. Because it'll give variety at the very start, where people can... Maybe they can make a free DLC with IC for PC. Thing is that wouldn't work, because it would have to modify all of the in-game tractors, Julian. I'd much prefer to see new crops ahead of... effectively shiny things. That's what IC is to me, is a shiny thing. That's what scripts are, effectively, is just like shiny things you should tack on at the end to just give your mod a bit of a sparkle. And set it aside from the 63 other versions of the same vehicle that have been made by other modders. Dynamic terrain, that ain't happening, that's... I actually... I explained it to somebody in John's Discord before, why dynamic terrain isn't a possibility in Farm Sim just yet. Without knowing any of the code behind it or any of the specifics. And it all boils down to optimization. It would make the game chug so hard. And one of the Giants guys just popped in after I explained it and just said, yeah, that's exactly what the problem is it's not that it's not possible. It's very possible. It's very doable. It's very actually quite easy for Giants to do dynamic terrain. The problem is optimizing the game for that. And that's where it falls flat. Chickens to be back in the game. Chickens are still in the game. Chickens never got taken out of the game. The only thing they do with chickens is you are forced to have them now. I'm fully expecting... There is a part of me that's hoping that the big surprise announcement is that it's McCormick and Landini. Because everybody's going mental, like, it's going to be John Deere class, it's going to be John Deere class. And then you just get this video and it says, new brands, Landini, McCormick, MTZ. And you just watch as the forums explode with anger that it's not John Deere. I would love to see Giants do that. Because that would be the single best troll move Giants could pull, and I would love them forever if they did it. Hello, Senan. Next April Fool's move. I don't know, because, like, there are people who want McCormick, Landini, MTZ, and all these brands in, but I think that, like, if Giants wanted to pull a prank, E3 would be the perfect time to do it. Hey, Dal. Make it so you can make a farm with an in-game and add the vehicles that you want. Isn't that what, like, money cheats are for in GE? Because, like, if you're able to make a farm in-game, you're making a map. And that's what GE's for. Hang on, I gotta... There we go. One of my screens is blocking the other screen. I'm actually kind of glad that I turned on the face cam. It's not as hot today as it was the last couple of days, and I've not been, I guess, pushing myself as hard, because now my room is actually tidy. The downside is I am occasionally going to just scoot backwards, because there's nothing actually stopping my chair from scooting backwards. Yeah, but I'd like to see, well, not better, I'd like to see GE improvements. There's a lot of stuff that could be fixed in GE. Like the number of terrain textures you can put per square, and the number of crops you can have on a map. And Giants have said that they do hope on improving the crop limits from the current 32 up to possibly and hopefully 64, to allow modders to go. Some modders to go mental with multi-fruits. Some modders to go mental with really cool features that add stuff to the game. And we'll say maybe some intermediate products for manure, slurry, stuff like that, where you can and I know that Maru's site has a placeable for this. You can, we'll say, put manure into a machine and it will give you it will, like, separate out the slurry element of it, because there is always a bit of a slurry element in solid manure. And that'll be really cool, where it, like, I guess filters the slurry out, or whatever. That'd be a nice feature, and you could have that machine going, and there'd be some sort of intermediate product, and it would require diesel, and things that I think about in Farm Sim. And you have to, like, you have to run the machine, or you have to run your manure through that machine before you can actually use it on the field. Where you get, like, I don't know what you call it, like wet manure, and you have to throw it into the machine. It'll filter out the slurry, which will be put into the slurry tank, as well as the normal slurry that would be in the tank anyway, and dried manure, or just plain solid manure. That'd be really cool. Or they could, I guess, seeing as, like, in game right now it's solid and liquid, they could call it slurry manure, or like mixed manure or something like that. That's something to be really cool to see in game. I don't know how you'd do it, but that'd be really cool, and I'd love to see that. What I would also like to see, and this might catch some of you by surprise, American logging equipment. You can do logging on American maps, but you gotta use European equipment, because apart from First Day Reviews stuff, which, in all fairness to him, he is doing his absolute best. He is improving a lot, and he is by no means a modeler. And I'm gonna kind of, oh crap, I need to deal with the cows like that as well too. He's by no means a modeler. He's doing his damnedest to make good mods, and he's just not. He's working as well as he can. But his mods aren't very good, and he'll readily admit that. But he is doing his best to learn how to make them better and to improve, and they are getting better, and he is improving. So, you know, that's fantastic to see a modder developing over time, the way that FDR is. But he's the only person who's making American logging equipment. Really. And it's not the highest quality of stuff ever. So, like, I'd love to see more giant standard American logging equipment. Where am I going? I'm going to feed the animals. Because the cows needed a bit of food, so I gave them a bag of food. Now we're off to the pigs. Which we also need to clean. I need... Oh my god. We're off to pigs now. Let's get the beacon on, because we're in movement mode. How's everyone? I'm doing good. I don't know how everyone else is doing, but... Hello, Walking Frame Reviews 200. That's an amazing thing. Texture-wise, he can improve. I looked at some of the stuff in FS15, very unimpressive, but Landy said the other night when we were talking about like stuff that we'd like to see in game that he has improved a lot. Hello, Oxy. I was talking to Oxy and David before the stream as well about like steam trains, because he was showing off. He was showing the steam train he's got on Shamrock Valley, and I think I told a story before about there being a steam train down like across the town at the railway station, and somehow I'd managed to misremember it so badly that not only did it not look like the train that I thought it looked like, it wasn't even a steam train. It was an old diesel locomotive from 1962 that ran on a Deutz V8. I didn't know Deutz made train engines. So like, that came as a series of surprises. So the only thing I actually got right in my memory was the colour, which was green. And I found that very funny. My memory is in fact so bad that I misremembered a small diesel locomotive that was effectively a shunt as a mainline passenger class steam locomotive, and I don't know how on earth that happened. Giants waste of time. Giants are in the business of making money, River. Giants, it's unfortunate to say this. Giants and all the game developers are in the business of making money. And making money means that there's as many versions of the game out there as possible. So, I've done the same thing I did last time. I've just realized. Because that's not the pig part. That's twice I've done that now. They watch clearly Tip. No, I know Tip lost and they're out of the championship. Probably deservedly so. But I don't care enough for sports ball. I did discover today, though, that the Formula 1 starts at 7:10, so I am going to be in a very good mood after this. I won't be able to watch the Formula 1, I need to record a video. I would be in a very good mood after the stream. Because I do like the Circuit de Gilles Villeneuve. But I'm going to be recording a video, and then immediately after the video I'll watch the Formula 1. And then next weekend I will be in a very, very good mood indeed. I'm going to get stuff pre-recorded for next weekend, video-wise, and I might stream next Sunday. Fair warning. Fair warning. Le Mans weekend is the weekend of unpredictability. Because I like watching Le Mans. Did I get my fan? No. I like watching Le Mans. Which means I like staying up all night during the Le Mans weekend to watch the night guys. And follow the stories throughout the race. Which means that there's a very good chance I might not be streaming next Sunday because I'll be really tired. Saturday, yeah, I'll stream. I'll skip like 2 hours of the race to stream for you guys. But next Sunday is about 50-50 whether or not I'll stream. Because I am a very, very big endurance racing fan. I love it. I love the fact that it's real racing. I'm not too happy with the LMP1 class this year. The fact that it's effectively rigged in favor of Toyota. I say effectively, it's literally rigged in favor of Toyota. They got a half-second per lap advantage, and they have a higher fuel allowance than any of the other prototypes. Well, a higher relative fuel allowance. They're able to go a full lap longer per fuel stint, which means they'll be making fewer pit stops. And the fact that they've got a half-second advantage per lap means that they'll be able to do like a lot different. I've seen the 2020 rules. They look amazing. Yeah. The rules for 2020 for the prototypes look really good. Really good. They're basically kind of modernizing the late 90s rules, where it's going to be effectively Grand Touring prototypes, and they're going to be based on hypercars, and they get to go really fast. That makes a happy Dave. The GT1s are reborn. GT1, GTP are being reborn, and I could not be happier. Because that's what like the prototypes needed, was to be more road relevant. Because while the technology in prototypes is road relevant in terms of the hybrids, Toyota at least, the fact that they cost so damn much to run because everybody had to make their own hybrid system made it a bit less road relevant. And the rules I saw basically said, yeah, they'll be able to run a spec hybrid system. Let's go to Le Mans 20. I plan on going to Le Mans at least once in my lifetime. And the Nürburgring 24 and the Spa 24. So this should be enough food for the pigs. For actually quite a while. Because that'll be the pigs fully fed. Yeah, that's the pigs good for a while. The cows are still a bit marginal, but they'll be fine. And now we get to fast forward to late spring. Or the next day. I think 3000 is fine for seasons. We'll just skip night. Skip to dawn. The bags are annoying. I like them. I actually love the bags. How much would it cost to go to Le Mans? Yes. Literally some amount. The sheep are fine, the cows need food. Okay. And what we'll do... Grass is looking good. Le Mans, yeah, like, that's... kind of a pipe dream of mine, is to go to Le Mans some year and watch the race. Even though they're hard to pick up, but they're nice. It's expensive in terms of, like, you've got to stay somewhere for a week, and I guess you could bring like a gas stove or something with you. I'd probably, like, if I was to go, I'd be driving at that point and have a camper van and just operate out of a camper van for a week. 400 for tickets, grandstand and camping. Is that like a full week ticket? Traveling. Accommodation would be fairly cheap because it's camping. Like, the expense would be the food. In my eyes, because, like, it's huge event food, which is never cheap. I solemnly swear, by the way, that we will actually get some mowing done today. Well, technically we did some mowing for the sheep, but I will get into the field of the 1 through 5. Basic entry, over 200. Yeah, but that's for like a full weekend pass. The Nürburgring 24 is similarly expensive. Taking grandstand only need a race day, there's free entry. Ooh. Do I have MR on? No! No, 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 I cannot stand MR. Like, if I wanted to be super evil, yes, but I would never want to play this map. MR doesn't work with maps. MR works with the giant stuff and like flat maps. Well, no, both, Massey. I tend to eat quite a lot. You don't get as thick as I am without eating quite a lot of food. And yeah, food at major events tends to be quite expensive. Like I was at a music festival before, and crepes were like €2 or €3 for a single one. It was, and I do like most aspects of MR. The issue that I have with MR, and it is a major issue, it's I would describe it as the flaw of MR, is the fact that it doesn't deal with hills. It just, you bring MR to a hill and it doesn't know what to do. It gets massively confused. By the way, you might notice I'm operating outside the 9 to 5 that is technically allowed. It's fine because this is animal work. What are we doing today? Getting into late spring, number 1. And then we are going to get into a field, hopefully in late spring today, and get the mowing begun for the silage, because we do need to get silage for the cows. Then we'll need to do some spraying after that. This is kind of the plan moving forward. So next job is silage. After that it's going to be spraying. So silage is going to be mow, windrow, and bale. After that it's going to be spraying the crop fields with the sprayer, obviously. And obviously doing the silage is going to require us moving the bales. Have I ever been inside a tractor? Maybe. No, yes I have. Many years ago. Many years ago. And once the spraying's done, we can basically kind of go to late summer. Obviously we'll be feeding the animals in between all this, just to keep them from dying. I do need to clean out the cows and pigs. What tractor? Yes, I can't remember what tractor it was. It was when I was like 6. And considering I misremembered a train that was moved in about 15 years ago, don't expect me to remember what tractor I was in 20 plus years ago. I know I was inside 3CX, maybe a 2CX JCB. Am I going to bring back the ETS streams? I might, because the farm sim gets boring. I'll be honest. Farm sim gets boring and it annoys me. At times. In August you'll be going to watch your friend cultivating. Very nice. I don't know what I'm doing in August yet. All I know is I'm turning 27 in August and I feel old. My memory's already gone. Harvesting. Surely it would be a harvest in August and not cultivating. That load all is rapid. It's a slow boy. It's a slow boy, but it's the best box. It's a good box. So that'll give the cows 22%, 23%. Good. I mean that'll be the cows okay to not die, which is kind of the priority right now. They could do with water, but I think they'll be fine for another day. So let's get the time on the move again. I love seasons lighting. It is so good. Great demand for soybeans, which doesn't affect us. And I think we can skip through till... Oops. Till morning now? No. When can we skip through till morning? Do we have to be out of a tractor? I do. Skip till morning, because that'll bring us further forward. What day is my birthday? The 24th. Oh, is this bugged out now? Has seasons gotten... Oh dear. Okay, we're good. So let's give the cows a bit more food, because they need more food. The animals need... All of the animals need more water. This is going to be... Pigs are fine. So this is going to be fairly... Could I... Okay, I'll let you guys decide this. Should I do some cleaning of the animals as well? Like clean out the... are the cows producing manure? They're not producing manure. Clean out the grass, I guess, from the cows, the corn from the pigs. Hello, Lone Wolf. Is the mowing done? No, we've not even started it yet, Reese. In fact, we're only up to the point now where in 3 in-game hours we'll be mowing, but we gotta deal with the animals first. Your birthday's 8 days before mine. Very cool indeed. So the cows are good. Ish. The sheep... Do you know what? We'll ignore the water situation for now. We'll get into the field mowing. ASAP, so we'll just skip time forward a bit. Great demand for wheat. I don't care. After 9 AM. Oh my god! Season's lighting so good. Now I know the grass isn't fully grown. I am aware of this. I am fully aware of the fact the grass isn't fully grown. However, it is more efficient to mow the grass now than to mow it later. I've also realized we've got to roll the grass once we got it all out of the field and all the bales out. It's more efficient to mow now because we'll then be able to get 3 harvests of grass in per year. And the summer harvest is going to be for hay. And the winter, the autumn harvest is probably going to be for silage again and a bit of hay. But this is, I find, the most efficient way of getting things done. After many hours of looking at people play seasons, everybody mows late spring because you can get 3 harvests in that way. If you let the grass go to 100%, you end up with 2 harvests per year, which is less efficient. I think either way, like if you want to do 3 harvests, you have to have one that's kind of compromised by not fully grown grass. Do I have crop destruction turned on, by the way? I do not know. I think I do. But either way, we're going to be using the Massey Ferguson 135 by Peter J. On the front of a very, very heavily converted Kuhn mower. From way, way back in the FS13, possibly even FS11 days. I could go through the fields here, but it is kind of outside the spirit of the rules. I want to play this in a not a fully realistic manner, but a semi-realistic manner where you don't drive through fields unless you own them. I guess, like, if there was 2 gates in a field and I owned it, then yeah, I'd drive through it. But I'm not going to drive through hedges. I'm not going to magic hedge on this map. Now the joy of the roller is that it brings the grass up to 100% fertilization, regardless of what situation the grass is in beforehand. So that grass that we're about to mow in field 6, as well as field 81, and is it 81? Yes, and field 30. Those 3 fields are fully fertilized. They are fully ready to go. We're going to get a full partial yield, which is actually going to be hurt slightly more by the fact that it's wet crop. Hello, Spencer. How are you doing today? And we're finally getting on to the thing, what is in the title of the stream. We're doing a mow as soon as we can get the Massey into the field. The corn is coming up nicely, actually. That's got up to a good height. I saw field 10 is growing in nicely as well. Field 14 is coming in as well, I think, / hope. Get out of the hedge, Dave. Where's the parrot? It is behind the face cam. I've just realized. There we go. Thank you for noticing, Spencer. So field 10 is coming in nicely in a split crop of potatoes and wheat. Field 15 is coming in a nice crop of corn, and field 14 is coming in a nice crop of barley. Now the reason that I chose those crops specifically is because they will be useful as pig food when the time comes. And we've got the 135 all ready to go over here, so we can just go over here. This is our mower for today. It is, if I open the shop menu, open the garage, I can tell you exactly what it is. It is a Kuhn FA367T. It's from the old classics pack, FS11-13. It does have, like, I think, full animations. It's slightly bigger than the small mower that I've been using on Sandy Bay. And no canola for... Do they actually need canola? I thought they needed corn! Well, they do need... Okay, I'm not gonna get the pigs fully fed, apparently, because I didn't realize they needed canola. Field 10 should have been split canola. Canola potato. Dang it! That is a major oversight on my part. By the way, I was doing some thinking, and I realized there's no rule against doing missions. So I might do some contracting in a future stream, possibly during the summer, in game, because it's, in my eyes, not cheating. It's not against the rules specifically, so it's fine. It's an easy way to make money. That's kind of an oversight in the rules. Have I got any of sort? No. I'm playing on hard mode. You start off with no crops and storage. What I've accidentally done is I've made it so that the pigs will never be fully fed. Or not for a little while at least. This is our first field to be mowed. Hello, model farmer. It's field 6. Let's get the mower unfolded. On the go. There we go, it's all spooled up. The sickle bar is not moving for some reason, but it's working. Bit of a downside is this does like magically windrow the mode material, and I'm not sure if a sickle bar mode would really do that. How on earth has it got stuck? I don't know, maybe it's a slightly modified 135. They're called finger bar. Sickle bar or finger bar. It's kind of an interchangeable name. Sickle bar is a slightly older name for it because you used to use a sickle to, or scythe or a sickle to harvest hay. Have I edited it? Nathan did. This is Nathan's edit of it, so he might have given it an exhaust stack. I think it looks okay with the exhaust though. SOB's mower is better. Yes, but it's extremely loud and I can't be bothered editing the XML. Hey, Pain and Sons, how you doing today? So we're going to be going for a little while mowing here. But we will get quite a lot of crop out of it, so I'm kind of fine with that. Think it looks better with it? Yeah, I mean, there are other mowers that would probably fit better, but I went for one that is not going to be insanely loud or require tweaks or edits to work. Would lay the grass on the ground, similar to how Farm Sim shows it. Okay then. Oh, well, I am doing very well indeed. It's not as hot today as it has been, and I've not been exerting myself as much today. So I'm kind of fine having the face cam on and having all of that, you know, having a normal stream, I guess. And it's nice to be getting into silage season in game. Because of course, being Irish, I am genetically obliged to love silage season. It's like the law here or something. I'm not entirely sure why, but everybody loves silage season. Well, it's true, Spencer. Like, I could edit the XML, but effort. Sickle mowers are very clean, neat cut. Yeah, because it's actually neater than more modern mowers. The sickle finger bar mower, because here's a bit of missed streams the past few days. Yeah, here's a bit of actual genuine science / knowledge here. The rotary mowers that you have now, and even the flail mowers, they kind of rip the grass. They don't cut it. They kind of rip at it. Especially rotary mowers. Whereas the old sickle bars and finger bars, or whatever you want to call them, and even scythes, they like cut straight across, so they just cut the grass the once. Whereas with the rotary, it's swing so fast that they can cut the grass multiple times. So you'll often find that if you get somebody who's using a sickle or a finger bar mower or an older style mower, they get much nicer cut grass than somebody using a modern mower. And it's because of the way the grass is cut. They're actually, for like pure hay and whatever highest quality possible, you actually want to be using something older than the modern stuff. Hello, Benny's Customize. So there's a little fun fact for you from various researches I've done. I'm quite good with these mowers as well, by the way, if you haven't noticed yet. I like using smaller mowers. These are more comfortable to me than using like a huge, definitely like a triple butterfly mower. Small little tractor has, yes, less weight, less compaction, by and large. Newer tractors tend to have, like, if you put bog wheels on, or wide wheels, then yeah, they'll compact less than an old tractor, but yeah, by and large, the lighter the vehicle, the less compaction. But it's all down to like how the weight is spread out. Like the front wheels on this would have a lot more compaction than a modern tractor because they're so small. It's such a small contact patch that they're gonna compact a lot more. They're gonna dig in a lot more. And if you look up videos online, you usually find the two-wheel drive tractors have a habit of getting stuck in stuff because they're just compacting the ground so much under the front wheels. It's rare that the rear wheels will get stuck anywhere. The front wheels tend to be the problem because they're so thin. They're so narrow that they just dig into the ground. Especially with this tread pattern. This is an atrocious tread pattern for trying to cut down on compaction. Change the cutting. Yeah, well, yeah, the cutting segment is a lot more convenient to change on a rotary mower than on a sickle bar, but the quality of the grass is a lot better with a sickle bar than with a rotary mower. Now, you guys think I know nothing about farming ever, or nothing about any sort of cultivation techniques. We're doing quite well on the mow, actually. I'm kind of surprised how well the little 135 is doing. We do need to refill this again. It's got it's got 11 hours on the clock already. This poor little tractor is just suffering for my art. Well, AK subs last week, late last week, Bill. So I am very happy indeed to finally hit that and be on the slow road to 9k. It's gonna be a long road to 9k, but we'll get there eventually. And then it's on to 10. Maybe. Really depends on how real life stuff goes with me. What I end up doing over time at this point. But it's just nice to hit the little milestones that I've got in mind for myself. Bill, did you ever expect to see a 135 on the west coast mowing field 6 with a sickle bar? I don't think this was entirely intended when you made the map. I'm gonna be honest. But I like playing things in unintended ways. I'll bring huge equipment onto tiny maps and tiny equipment onto huge maps and see how they cope. I'll hit that in no time. I mean, it took me 3 years to get to 8,000. It took me a year and a half to get to 1,000. So it's kind of very dependent on the way YouTube ebbs and flows over time. And my channel's going through a bit of an ebb right now. It's a bit kind of slow progress, but that's fine. But if you are watching the stream and you're enjoying what you're seeing, and you want to help the channel out a bit, you can hit the like button. You can hit the subscribe button. I love this size of equipment. There's so few people will like go out of their way to use small equipment on maps because it takes longer. It's inconvenient. I love it. I love using this equipment. Just more of this in Farm Sim, please. You can like and subscribe and share, and if you're feeling particularly saucy and rich, send a super chat, donate, sponsor, join the Patreon, because I am money hungry. No, I'm just offering you different ways to help the channel out, basically, financially. Because ad money is not good. I looked at my ad revenue the other day, or was it last night, and I don't want to do that again. Hopefully that'll help. It does help. Sharing streams and stuff does genuinely help. It's the way to get new people in and to get people interested in stuff. And get people in the first place. Because, like, if you don't go to something in the first place, you don't know if you like it or not. This little 135 is a proper trooper of a tractor, though. Like, 12 hours on it already. In, like, 14 hours of play? And it's been used for 12 of them already? So, I mean, I can't fault the 135 for just being a trooper of a tractor. I mean, most of the time it's been plowing. I plowed with this thing. It should have imploded by now, but it's still going and it's still working fine, and there's still, as he checks, 18 hours until I need to maintain the tractor and hope. Can you maintain tractors in seasons when you got no money? Because if you can't, then I will definitely have to do some contracting work. That's what I'm going to call the missions, they're contracting. Even though, like, it's preset equipment, it's contracting. I don't know how the little windrow I have is going to deal with the distance between these rows, though. More if it's the one. It fits the 135 perfectly. I wish it was more FS17 spec and not just a convert from FS11 upwards. I wish, you know, it worked fully and had full speculars and had full dirt maps or dirt skins and just was up to the same standards as the 135. But it is functional, it works, it looks good on the back, and you know, it's nice. Lighting looks great. Seasons lighting, I swear, it is the single greatest thing in the world when it comes to farm sim. It gets you such good screenshots. And they're guaranteed to be good because the lighting is always good in seasons. Except in the winter. Wintertime it's all dark and dreary and grey, just like real life winter. But like going through the spring and the summer, you get that beautiful bright vividness in every colour under the sun, and reshade being in on top of it just makes it pop that little bit more. Like if I turn on the blurs right now, that looks stunning. Like you can't fault even this view. It looks, I'll admit, kind of cartoony at times, but it just looks good. Hello, Gamers7878. Proud I didn't call you Gamer787B, because I love that Mazda. That is my favorite Group C car. How and where to get Reshade? I got it from the Reshade website. And the exact shader settings I'm using I got from Simulate. There is a reshade setting on FSUK. I know in the Frontier Discord, Farm shared the base version of his settings, which is modified slightly. If you like, there's videos on like different settings and presets for reshade that people have. I know Sim's planning on releasing his this reshade preset eventually. Once they finally fix his car, seeing as they I said they broke his gearbox. They didn't actually break the gearbox in the garage. They broke the torque converter, which, for those of you that don't know what automatics have, what the torque converter is in an automatic, it's basically the flywheel of the clutch. I don't know how they did that, but they did that. And they had to send the torque converter off to be repaired because they're inept, apparently. Hello, Pierre. And Slants plays as well. And Jerd, hello. Hope you're all doing very well this evening. Hope you all had a nice weekend with the beautiful weather we've been having. My parents came home before the stream, about 4 o'clock, and had a quick chat with them while I was dealing with some stuff downstairs, and they said they actually went to the beach yesterday in Inch in County Kerry, and the Inch Beach is a mile long, so it's perfectly named. Did they drop it or something? We don't know. Me and Landy were talking about it last night. Landy reckons they kind of tried to force it on and stripped some of the threading on it. Or they did something they really shouldn't have. Something incredibly stupid with torque converter. I mean, as soon as Landy explained what it was, I was like, how do you even break that? Lodos use torque converters. Yeah, anything with an automatic gearbox of any description. And it's usually kind of hydrostatic, which Lodos, I believe Lodos are hydrostatic. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. But yeah, torque converters are basically just the clutch in an automatic. Hello, Glengar. Glengar, quick question. Do you think I went too far with that person I screamed abuse at last night? Because while I have had issues with modders in the past, the thing with CD comes to mind immediately, but I've had issues with some other modders and disagreements, and I've said stuff that I maybe shouldn't have about them and to them. A lot of it's just my opinions that I put out. I don't mean any disrespect with them. Like, I think ARM Team have been lazy with the way they've been converting their mods because I know they can do better. It's not me insulting them, it's me saying, I know you can be better than that. Stop being lazy gits. Actually do the work that you can do. Put more time and effort into it. But yeah, that guy just showed absolutely no respect to modders, and I ripped him a new one. Hello, Josh. He's also been banned from the channel because he has been in the streams before, but I banned him personally last night, and yeah, just ripped him to shreds because I have less than no respect for people like that. It's one thing to have arguments with modders and disagreements. It's another to just completely disrespect the entire modding community. And that's what that person was doing, and I know that is red rag to a bull with me. You're gonna get angry, Dave, and he got angry, Dave. How can I see that grass? Magic and knowing where the previous line is, Jared. That's basically what I'm doing, is I'm following, if you look here, I'm actually following the previously mowed grass and the windrow that I have in place already. So I know where the grass to be mowed is because I can see the grass that's already been mowed, and that's what I'm driving along. It's a little cheeky little trick when you're mowing. It's particularly good on maps like West Coast, Oakfield, where the grass doesn't magically blend in with the already cut stuff. Where the windrows don't blend, because it stands out nicely and you can use it as a guideline for yourself. Just makes life easier. Plus, I mean, I'm going to do this all in circles, by the way. So people are going to get annoyed with me doing circle mow again. But I love circle mow because it makes some really nice patterns. Hopefully grass textures will be better for FS19. Yeah, I hope grass mechanics are better for FS19, like in general. Was this more in 13? Yes, this is the more from the Classics pack in FS13, Jared. And from what I've been hearing, it's also the more that was in the Classics pack in FS11, back when that was a paid DLC. You want longer grass? Longer grass maybe, but like I'd like to see weeds. Actual weeds. Searching for the owner's come hub. Have you not tried doing it? Who is CD? Because I got my, granted they're just reskins, but the mods that I made, or did, taken down off there. Again, strong words for him. I didn't go nicey-nicey at the start, I just went immediately, yeah, no, not dealing with you. Weeds would be amazing. Like, that's something, especially with weeders in the game. When Giants said there'd be weeders, like, everybody expected, oh, they're putting weeds in. No, they're just putting in a machine that magically fertilizes. I want weeds in my farm sim. Even if it's just like a little text box at the bottom of the screen that says weeds, whatever percent. But that's part of it, like, I want better grass mechanics. Because you don't really... You know, weeds are kind of an accepted thing in grass, by and large. But I'd like to see the animals eat the grass. Out of the meadow. I mean, that's something that is really dumb, that should be in the game, but isn't. And I need to super glue this damn light or put Loctite on it or something. Going to make dinner, very nice, Yanis. T-shirt keeps riding up. This is my new t-shirt, by the way. I said yesterday I'm wearing a new t-shirt that I really like. I really like this t-shirt. It's really comfortable and soft and like velvety. I love it. It feels like it's made of silk. I said it's velvety and it said, oh, it feels like it's made of silk. Silky was the word I actually meant. We want weeds, we want better traffic, we want better hired workers, we want animals that make sense in terms of eating the actual grass in the meadows, or in the paddocks, or whatever you want to call them. We want workhorses. We want old machinery. We want kind of a farm sim where you can do whatever style of farming you want to do. You're having Chinese tonight, various. I don't know what I'm having tonight yet. I'll go down after the stream and have a word with parents and figure out if I'm having curry I made, which is microwavable curry, and it's, I think, jalfrezi, which is lovely. I'm getting all cuddly. I like this t-shirt, it's nice, it's new. Or curry from Chinese, which would also be, that would hit the spot quite nicely. I do like the curries from the Chinese, assuming they're made right, because I had one the other day, or a couple of weeks ago, that had split. I don't know how on earth you split curry sauce, but the Chinese managed it one night. That was disgusting. Beans on toast. That's not bad. I mean, personally, I'd go like scrambled eggs on toast. I haven't had that in forever. I saw that, Glengar. I'd go scrambled eggs on toast because I haven't had that in forever. Or like an omelette. But yeah, beans on toast wouldn't be the worst. Toasted sandwich would be quite nice as well. I mean, that's another option that is there for my dinner tonight, which that would definitely hit the spot, because I mean, cheesy, hammy, cheesy goodness that's warm, yes. And toast. I mean, the toast is the integral part of the toasted sandwich, as well as the melted cheese. Scrambled eggs, yes. Omelets with cheese and ham in them. Oh, like, you put cheese and ham into an omelet and I will eat it all day. Or like sausages as well. You can put, like, cut up sausages, put them into an omelet as you're cooking it. A bit of cheese, a bit of ham, and that's just the most delicious omelet you'll ever have. Leisure in the Leinster finals, very nice. Anything but rabbit food. Yeah. So I went out feeding the cats again today, and the little kittens are adorable. I love the little kittens. I just, oh my god, they're so tiny. Like, they're smaller than the palm of my hand, and I don't have a particularly big hand. What do I have in here that... I've got a can of Lynx deodorant, and my hand is like slightly bigger than the can. The kittens are smaller than this, even. And they're so adorable, the little tiny fluff balls of kittens. I love it. Like, you can't not like little fluff ball kittens. It's just physical impossibility. True fact. You can make a good omelette. I tried making an omelette once, and I had no idea how to make an omelette, and I ended up making this weird egg pancake that was just horrifically burnt. I am not a good chef. I maybe should have looked up before I even tried it how to make how to make an omelette. Yeah, there's no bad girl from gym yet. Hey, Podge, how you doing? Take it up. Kitten toast? No kitten toasty. Although I did, I did look at the kittens because they're hiding under a bin, under a storage bin that we have. I looked under it, and yeah, they've been feasting away on a bird, which I wasn't. They were under there, and I wasn't gonna like try and put the bird into the bin of doom. Apparently, my dad did that later on, though, so that's fine. But yeah, a bird has been the latest victim of the bin of doom. Back to the drawing board. Yeah, I think like Tip's best plan would be to get more under 21s up into the team and kind of build for the future. Just kind of abandon the championship next year as well and do a future build year. You back? What did you miss? Yes. Like when a team struggles as badly as Tip did this year, the only realistic option is to just write off the next year as well and use that as a building year for kind of the year after or even the year after that. Your dog has a hedgehog. Okay. The problem with Tip right now is like the team is kind of in a weird middle-agey point, where some of the better players are getting on a bit, and the younger guys just aren't up there yet. And maybe the best option would be to have a year where you know the coach or whatever comes out, day one of the championship and says, we're not going anywhere this year. We're not going to do very well. This is a building year for us. We're building towards next year, and we're going to have a young team. We're going to get them experienced, and we're going to get them ready for a challenge next year. And some people will be annoyed by that, but that's probably the best bet in terms of like strategy. Is just right off a year. YouTube's doing the random logouts again. That's annoying. That's really annoying. I enjoy the fact, by the way, that the entirety of the animals on Glance are just in red because they're barely being fed at the moment. And they all need cleaning. Apart from the sheep, apparently. The sheep are the sheep on this map for some reason are clean. The worst thing Tip could do right now is change manager. You wouldn't run farms on a basic laptop. You might be able to, but it wouldn't be a good idea to run like a turd. Like imagine something that's slow. Moving a snail through jelly. Particularly thick jelly. That's what running farm sim on a bad computer would be like. There's also saying that you can't nail down jelly, but people have done it. What are the chances of me getting out of that? Pretty good, actually. Because all I need to do, really, is... Because most of the work now is going to be manual. The cows are going to be making 1,000 a day in milk. So, even coming up to harvest time, that's a few thousand that we're going to make back. We're going to, potentially by harvest time, only be 3,000-4,000 in debt. So what you do is you use, like, buy bales mod or something and just get bales in for the sheep or cows. You play on console, don't you? If you're on console, like, if there's no way to feed the animals, then yeah, you can postpone getting them until you can feed them, or you can money cheap, or money. I was reading Bucko's comment and he confused me. You can money cheat in when the animals die. That's kind of within the rules because I'd forgotten that grass doesn't grow in until late spring. So like there are ways around that. Just because it's an oversight in the rules. It's a big field. It's actually quite small. It's just really small equipment I'm using. Intentionally small equipment. Because half the challenge of this for me is the size of the equipment that I've chosen, which is like really, really small. Cell wrapped grass bales. Yeah, make 50 of them first, though. You gotta make 50 bales before you can sell them. So if I want to sell even one silage bale, I've got to make 50 to sell one. Because I've made these rules particularly... I've also decided that the bales don't necessarily... That the bales, they're fine being used in or stored in other yards as long as the machinery is in the nominated yard. Because it would be a bit mean for me to try and store 150 bales at the main yard. I don't think it's actually possible with the shed space I have free right now. Plus, it's easier when it comes to like feeding the animals to just have a store of 50 of each kind of bale the animal needs at the animals. So, for example, I'll be storing 50 straw bales up at the pigs and 50 hay bales over the sheep, and a total of 150 bales over at the cows. Bond's on the... James Bond is always on the telly. Casablanca was on earlier today. Watched a bit of that. I was kind of surprised to see it on the telly. I've not seen Dr. Strangelove on... Or what's the one that's supposed to be really good? There's like one movie that's regarded as the best ever, and I can't remember what it is. It's not Casablanca. Can I keep feeding equipment at the respective yards? They've got to be at the main yard. That's equipment. The only thing that I'm making an exception for is the Profi Hopper, and that's just because it's so slow. Like the Profi Hopper, I'm fine with you keeping that at the sheep because they need feeding quite regularly, and because the Profi Hopper is so slow, it's not really viable to have it anywhere but the sheep. It's also the only kind of quasi-forage wagon that I'm allowing in the challenge. Because you gotta bale stuff. You gotta bale everything. You gotta mow all the grass all the time. You gotta mow or drop all the straw all the time. You gotta bale everything all the time. And I am going to do an outer round this time. I usually don't, but I am going to this time just to maximize usage of this field, effectively. So we're going to do an outer round. Just so that I get maximum grass out of this field. And then we will bring in the 240 with the windrower in the back, and I need to remember which one of the two identical pieces of equipment I have is the windrower. Farting wagon? Close enough. Am I using conventional baler? No, I was going to. I had one on the map. Had one in place, ready to go, and I was kind of thinking about it while I was preparing everything else during the setup. And I realized, hang on, with the rules I've got in place, I'd have to manually stack, by hand, with no speed cheats, thousands of bales onto trailers, or into trailers. And that would have just been, no. You can if you want to make conventional bales, but that's not a really good idea. Hey, SRF Enterprises. When I see SRF, I just think Spec Racer Forward, so iRacing, thank you. How am I? I'm doing good. We're just kind of finishing up the first field being mowed. I am going to do these fields individually, by the way. Once the silage is actually made, then we'll worry about or once the bales are made, then we'll worry about wrapping and moving into the next field for mowing. Watching NCIS and the stream. NCIS I love NCIS, it's brilliant. Has anyone used the new beta? I haven't, and I don't like it already. I don't know if I want to download it, because I'm not a fan of the bale sizes he's decided on. 5,000 litres for a round bale seems a bit cheaty. Especially seeing as it's like effectively the same size as an in-game round bale. Also, I've just noticed the Massey's down to 7 litres of fuel. That could have ended very badly. Also, for some reason, the mower will not raise. There we go. There's a really narrow pickup. Yes. So many things you can criticize about that baler that I don't know if it's even worth using. Hello, Adam. I don't like the size of the bales that it makes, though. Name a good map to do. West Coast, Oakfield, Cobra Park Farm, Sandy Bay, Thornton. Lone Oak when it's out. One of NLD Farmers American maps if you want to go American. Local council are going to be mad about this time. Well, they shouldn't have put it in so flimsily. Northstone I've been hearing good things about as well, yeah. I need to try that map for myself. Apparently I left the beacon on in the load hall. Okay, which of these two is the windrower? Okay, so it's the new one is the windrower. Okay. Hang on, I need to get... No, forwards. There we go. Because I need to get the 240 in to load that up. Wait for V2. Will do. You're back with food? Welcome back with food. What happened to Yanis? Yeah, but the FSI baler and the mat of the round baler, it's got wonky, like, bale density, I think. I'm not sure of the size compared to normal in-game bales, but the density is weird, if they are the same size as in-game bales. V2 looks much better. I'll wait for V2 then. I might do some videos on it. I think the brand's only in Italy. Well, I'm not entirely surprised, seeing as it's the Farming Simulator Italia team. This looks a bit silly on the back of the 240. This looks a tad big. I'm gonna be honest, it looks a tad big. Does this thing unfold at all? Or is it just turns on, okay. Yes, I'm going to use a piece of equipment that's the same size as the tractor. Oh, now it's... Oh, it does unfold. It's just incredibly slow, and I didn't notice it. Got an H650 round baler. Why don't you make it then, CD? You're in a unique position where if you want a mod, you can just make it. So here goes my attempt at windrowing well. This is not gonna... Oh, this isn't gonna even... Is this even gonna do, like, 2 rows into one? No, this... Change of plan, we're coming in with the baler. What happens this? West Coast. That doesn't even do 2 rows into one. It'll be fine when I'm tedding. But for right now, it's it's a bit silly. Back to the shed. I'm gonna have people coming in later on, or maybe tomorrow when I'm, or not tomorrow, but Tuesday when I'm bailing, wondering why on earth didn't I windrow? I'll have to explain. I tested the windrow. It wouldn't put 2 rows into one. It's literally as dense as I can get the grass to be. That's amazing. Oh, that's gonna annoy me for a while now, isn't it? That's gonna really annoy me while I'm bailing. The baler pickup might be wider than that windrow. Blah 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 blah. On the right side, we can actually get to the baling of the silage today. This baler does in fact work on the back of this tractor, by the way. The 125F from the Massey Pack by Black Sheep Modding does work on the back of the International 844. I almost called it a 488 again. It does work. It produces, I think, standard size bales, standard size round bales, standard density, standard everything. This is the only baler we have on the map right now, so even the straw is going to be round baled for a while. But the baler upgrade we're going to get for square bales is going to be kind of a downgrade in a way. We're going to get the D1000 because as derpy as the bales look, and that's just kind of a so used to giant standard bales viewpoint. As derpy as they look to somebody who's used to giant standard bales, I really like the size they are. I really like the way that those bales look. We're going to do the outside round first because I can't see it otherwise. Music, do you want to maybe play? Music. There we go. Music has decided it wants to play. We're gonna do... This is dumb. Oh, we're gonna start here. Screw it. So, pick up down, baler on, and away we go with the world's worst silage harvest. Oh my god, look at how little grass is going into the baler! We might get one bale done by the end of the stream. Oh no, it's... the New Holland bales are like shorter and thinner. And I think maybe a bit longer than standard in-game bales, so they look a bit derpy if you're used to the standard in-game ones. Is this yield even worth it? Yes, yes it is. It's just that I don't have any windrows done. So this is all going to be, like, every pass of the mower is one pass of the baler. That's the issue. This is the most generic sounding dubstep song I've heard in a while. Also, I'm really glad that the tractor has actually managed to make it up the hill. Yeah, push. It would in fact be faster if I was picking up this grass by hand, yes. What on earth? The pickup can go through the poles, but the... Oh my god. Black sheep, why? Jiggle glitch, come on, jiggle glitch. Jiggle glitch won't work. Black sheep, why you do this? So, the pickup on the baler has no collisions, but the wheel that's directly behind it does. That's irritating. We've got half a bale made. We've got 2/3 of a bale made. We got stuck again. Oh, I think we're properly stuck this time. %. I really wish mowing the grass would cut those weeds as well, because it's incredibly hard to see where the grass actually is. We've got a bale, we've got a bale. When did we get the bale? Oh, we got the bale quite a bit ago. We have a bale made at last. Look at this. I actually reversed that in the same way. What a shock to everybody's systems. I would tour, but I need to record for tomorrow, and that means that I'm going to be basically just staying in game for a little bit and swapping OBS into record mode. Nishma's Abbeys, oh my god, I want them now. But yeah, there hasn't been an update in age. Congratulations on the bale. The one bale. Let's see if we can get a second one out before I end the stream. Waited almost a full headland for one bale. That said, this is the least dense grass. This is the grass. Well, now we're into the grass that has actually been 100% fertilized because the FS17 spec grass. The grass along the edge that I was just doing wasn't. That was kind of base density grass. Now we're on to full density grass. That beeper triggers at 66% of a bale. So you might not be able to hear it, but there's a little beeper going off now. Might need to refuel a few times. I might need to refuel a few times before I'm done with this field, yes. Come from just beside the Abbey factory. Ah! That means that I have been very close to your house before, Bucko. Because my sister used to go to college in Carlow, go to the IT there, and we drove basically around the Abbey factory on the way up. Come on, 4,000. We got a second bale. Now I'm not allowed to muscles mode this, so if this bale starts rolling, it keeps rolling. The bale is rolling. It's gonna stop at the hedge. That's just a thing now. See you, Jared. Can we get a third bale before the end of the stream? We've got either a minute or 5 minutes, depending on whether or not Landy decides he wants to stream today. This will take a while. Yes, yes it will. Oh, is that... Don't stop in the middle of the field, you get. Do not stop in the middle of the field. Because I'll need to get up. If you stop in the middle of the field, I'm going to have to get the load haul in. You're stopping in the middle of the field, aren't you? It'd be kind of convenient if all the bales ended up over here, because then I'd... Careful around the bale that I made already. Hey, Llama King. Timmy Bar, that's where the new Abbey factory is. The old one was in Nina, and that's the one that I went around. Or I was near. When going up to Carlow. So it really depends on which Abbey factory he's talking about. Would I like to get a bit of track? Yes. But it's these are the track. This is the tractor I have. This is what I need to deal with. And it works. I mean, if it wasn't working, then yes, I would probably just cheat in a new tractor. And you know, if something isn't gonna work ever, then yeah, I'm gonna, you know, just say, okay, that's not gonna happen, so let's just swap it out, do a direct swap for something a bit more powerful. Hello, Zay Thoughts. How am I? I'm doing good. Coming up towards the end of the stream, we're finally getting some grass bales made. These will need wrapping ASAP, because grass doesn't last in seasons, which is why we're basically baling immediately. We've got 2 more fields to do after this one, remember. I may straight swap the windrower I have for something that's slightly bigger, that I can at least merge 2 rows into one. The unfortunate thing is there's not that many small windrowers out there. Like this is the struggle. This is the problem I have. Is like there's not that many small windrowers out there. CD's one that I attempted to use that doesn't really work as well as I would have liked. I could in theory change the working width. Stay. Oh, that bale's off on a wander as well. Where did the other bale end up, by the way? It did end up in the hedge. Massey 5600. You're starting off with pretty big equipment, Yuso. Compared to the, I guess the showcase series of the challenge, where I am truly after creating a struggle bus for myself. Because this is, it's fun for me. It is really fun for me. I'm really enjoying playing with this equipment, using the small equipment. It's not fast progress by any stretch of the imagination. It's not, you know, standard farm sim fare where you launch in and you got all the biggest tractors in a week. Because you're using hired workers everywhere and doing everything automatically, and you got course play on 16 different courses. Get more money, looks like, from Sandy Bay. On Sandy Bay... Oh, you sold off all the equipment, you said. What I did was, before I actually started setting up, was I turned on the money cheat, which disables you getting money from what you're selling. So I made this extra hard. So I'm using... I start off with literally the starter amount of money. But on Sandy Bay, yeah, you get a few $100,000 when you set off your initial starter equipment. You do on the West Coast as well, but what I did was I turned on money cheat first. So when I sold off the starter equipment, it just went away. The money stayed at the initial 15,000. 13 million on normal. This is on hard, bucko. This is, I've made this as difficult as possible. I really should have seen Field 10 canola. It's too late to change it now as well. Genuinely annoyed by the fact that I overlooked that little... that thing, that. I didn't check what the pigs needed. I should have. I feel dumb. Because I rarely feed the pigs manually. Lawfuls is such a bad map. It's like not a bad map, it's just it's a map that I don't feel like it's logically designed. I don't feel like it's logically designed with all the square fields, and like it's a grid map, and I don't tend to like grid maps. In Farm Sim, in like other games where grids are the most efficient way to do things, like City Skylines, my cities are almost always grids, because that's the most efficient way to play City Skylines. Factorio, I'm moving it. I've realized that grids are the most efficient there, so again I've been moving into creating grid systems in Factorio, which the reason you haven't seen any videos from that for a little while is because I've not been playing it much. Are there bigger fields on Sandy Bay? The fields on Sandy Bay that you start with are slightly bigger than the West Coast, yeah. Especially the grass field. You only need that one grass field and the meadow with no number. You can do everything using just those two, for sure. Whereas with the West Coast, I felt like, just kind of for safety's sake, that I needed to buy an extra grass field, so that I could guarantee myself that I would have the silage and the hay that I needed. You look at satellite images, they're all square. I still don't like Dramar just because of that. Honestly, like, even though it's true to life, I don't like it. I don't like square fields. And you'll notice that the majority of maps that I do play don't have square fields. The few that I do play that have square fields, they're kind of built in such a way that you don't notice the fields are square. You don't care that the fields are square. Like Pemberlin has square fields, and that's designed in such a way that you don't really notice or care that the fields are the boring generic square shape. What harvest do I have? I've got the bison from the Platinum Pack. So I've decided to make even the harvest a struggle bus. Even the harvests are going to be difficult on this map. I do realize what time it is, by the way, guys, so we're going to make one more bale and then we'll call it a day. VB, you've broken your PC. GG. We're going to do one more bale and then we're going to call it a day. We'll be back with this challenge on Tuesday. And we'll pretty much be picking up where we're leaving off today with the silage struggle bus. We got 2 more fields to do after this, so it's not going to be the easiest bit of work in the world, but it still needs to be done. Still no landing. But it is the weekend and he is in Canada, so he's probably AFK doing stuff with Jess. And I think in fact they're going camping pretty soon, so I think maybe even like next week or the week after. So he will be like not streaming for like a week or 2. I think they go camping for. The startup was broken. That's not good. So just be aware of that with regards to Landy's channel. I can't remember exactly when they're going camping, so just bear that in mind. But with, as he checks the number of bales we've made, 8 bales created. 42 more grass/silage bales before I can even think about selling a single one. 6 meter high. That's quite large. With 8 bales created today, with the silage officially started, we are going to call it a day right here. Next time we'll be continuing the silage. I'm not going to finish it by any means in one extra session, but we're going to be continuing, and I'm going to be very cheeky to take the thumbnail for the next video or next stream right now. There we go. And I will leave you guys by saying, oh, by the way, yesterday's stream archive I completely forgot to put live. I privated it. I apparently forgot to schedule it, so that went live just before I started streaming today. So if you missed yesterday's stream, you can watch it now as a VOD on YouTube. But I'll leave you guys by saying I've been RainbowDave. You've been watching the Insanity Challenge on the West Coast. The struggle bus is real. We will continue this on Tuesday. Tomorrow I'll be back with some Sandy Bay for you guys. Until then, stay safe and goodbye.
And now for something completely different.